Hi, everyone. Good evening. Let's call the meeting to order. In terms of today, there are no chairperson remarks to start. But I would like to request a vote to modify add agenda items. I'd like to add an agenda item to discuss what we want, how we want to move forward with ZBA applications and things that we recently found that are going to start coming to us. So I do want to add an agenda item to just have a quick discussion about that. And now we'll do that before we do the ZBA referral, which is the documentation that we have in front of us.
So do we have,
Do I have a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next up, approval of minutes. We have the September 14th minutes here. Hopefully folks have had a chance to look at it. I know, Sue, you were out that day. This was this one was a particularly quick one, so. Okay.
No comment.
Okay,
Yeah, no, if you're just written.
okay. All those in favor?
Should we make a motion?
Yes,
Do we have to make a
yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the September 14th minutes.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Fantastic.
Sue abstains.
Yeah.
Okay. All
All right, any report of members? No?
Is there any update on the recommendations that the planning board made to the
Not that I know of. I was gonna ask you guys if anyone attended the meeting yesterday. So that would be the only way that we would know, and I haven't seen the recording yet. Did you?
I wasn't at the meeting
Okay,
and
so I would suggest maybe we look at the recording. Perhaps there was something there discussed, but I remember in the meeting where it was raised, the village board of trustees wanted to go into executive session and have a conversation about it, and then they would get back to us. So I would assume that once that happened, that they would have contacted me or contacted us with whatever's decision before they would announce it in a meeting. So, but again, I would encourage us, if we haven't, just take a look at the meeting from yesterday. All right, I have no correspondences and also no old business. So next up is really to discuss this. We got an email from Eric Worth from the zoning board. And there is, and it always has been, a clause in section 134 about when something comes up to the zoning board, that it should also be referred to the planning board. And there was a note that went to our attorneys saying, hey, we noticed Eric, because he was also, part of the group, that the committee that rewrote the code. Yeah.
Every year. That's why we haven't seen anything.
Yeah, and so his question was, I know it was in the old code, it's now in the new ones. Do we have to follow it?
Do you have to follow the code? Is that the question?
That was the question, because it wasn't followed previously. Is there some?
No, they would send their decisions over, and then the planning board was just a private comment if they had
Is
any.
it that we just haven't had any?
They haven't met in over a year, and it's over a year.
Okay. Okay, so,
Yeah.
so anyway, that was still the question. And the attorney said, yeah, we do. And so, yeah. And so there's the question that we should discuss really is, how do we want to handle it? Because the way that it works in terms of the zoning board process is they have a workshop where they review the application, it gets finalized, and then there's a public hearing that typically happens like 4 weeks after the workshop, 28 days. But according to the code, when something gets referred to us, we have 30 days to respond. If we don't respond in 30 days, it is understood that, we have no comment.
And typically the planning board wouldn't have much of a, like this application tonight, I mean, side yard, rear yard, I'm not even sure why it's here. But if this were to come over, the planning board wouldn't really have any comments. You basically just don't reply back.
Exactly.
I feel like when we would reply, when we would have something to discuss was when there was like a bigger implication with variances and stuff,
Well,
right?
like, the Boker House,
Mhm,
when they wanted to turn that into a, office.
mhm.
Yeah, obviously that, that gets
Right.
referred over, and then we do have,
Mhm.
exactly, and then the planning board does have a comment, right? And we met,
Mhm.
commented, we met with the owner's rep.
Mhm.
And, they didn't proceed,
Yeah,
so
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we rarely have comment, because it's
Okay.
basically side yard, rear yard, front yard, there's not really a whole lot going on, but creating a commercial space in a residential neighborhood without the proper buffers, that's a whole nother.
yeah.
so it's a mechanism that exists in the code so that if there is something that the planning board needs to comment on, they can, right? And
Right.
usually it's, yeah,
Within 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, within 30 days.
I mean,
So what we
I don't know if you're
wanna,
continuing on, but you could certainly, it probably would be a courtesy within, to just tell them you have no comment, right?
right, so what I wanted to discuss today is, within, what do we want to recommend to the ZBA should be the process? Do we wanna say, because we have this 30-day window and then they don't want planning board referral to hold up any of their process, should we say, hey, send us the material that you get immediately, at the beginning of the workshop, so that we have access to it, so that we're not then waiting. And then there's maybe a potential holdup to the 28 days to get to the public hearing. I think that's a
But
reasonable
that's fine,
idea.
they just shouldn't take final action. They can hold the public hearing, they can close the public hearing, close the comment, not take final action. You really shouldn't take final action until you hear back from the planning board, but with what you're prescribing, I don't think we got that much advance normally.
Right,
Um,
so Eric is open to trying to change the process, and so I thought it would be good for us to collaborate on at least something that.
If we could collaborate better,
Mhm.
yeah, that-
get it to
by all means. yeah.
ASAP,
Mhm.
even before the official referral is what you're
Okay.
saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Is that
if
so
that's-
good? So I'll
if
make
that's
that, I can
viable.
make that recommendation.
Well, the referral had already been made, because it's with them, so referral has already happened. The code enforcement officer's already made the referral.
To
To the
them.
ZBA, yeah.
Oh, I see.
There's no referral to the planning, it's not referred to the
Sorry,
planning board. The
before
planning
they
board is just
send
allowed to
it.
provide comment.
Yeah, before they send it to, I wonder if we can just ask for when it gets
The
sent
day
to
of
the
the workshop,
ZBA, it
yeah.
just gets sent to us
It's not a
too.
bad idea, because that way then they should not take final action until they hear back, or the 30 days has elapsed.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah, and
Correct,
then,
and what we're trying to do with this recommendation is not let the 30 days
Days
elapse,
elapse, yeah,
but try to get to it.
that's really respectful of
Right, yeah,
everyone,
exactly.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
okay,
okay, so that's what I'll, suggest to Eric, since you all agree. Now, moving on to the actual matter at hand, the 14 Constitution. All, assuming folks have looked at it, if there are no concerns, I can raise a motion that the planning board finds that there is no
Oh,
concern.
this was just sent over
Yeah.
for the same reason, yeah. okay.
Exactly.
Um, We don't have R1 anymore. So this has to be, the conformance sheet needs to be updated, there is no such thing as R1 anymore
Okay.
on their conformance worksheet.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they're referring to if the code enforcement officer is referring to the correct section of the code. But I guess to the ZBA, I mean, I don't know why we would have any comment. It's a pretty straightforward front yard, rear yard, side yard. It's a conforming lot. What you guys said, look at the lots.
It's a conforming lot,
Yeah, 7,500 square feet.
so, but that, and so there,
No,
the variance is for the front yard setback
It's for
and
the-
the side yard,
Pre-existing non-conforming, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pre-existing.
The code does not represent the current condition. You're again
Cold
in
Spring,
R
everybody's stuck.
yeah. So that's also the other thing, I actually did have a chance to speak with our attorney, today about this. And part of their recommendation is, we might, as a planning board, in partnership with Eric and the zoning board, make a recommendation to have the code changed. To reflect our feedback that maybe things like this don't come to planning board. So that's also another option for us if that's something that we would like to pursue.
You might get an opportunity in the Article 78.
Okay.
That could be the only remedy, is to
Which is
undo it.
Article 78.
Whenever you contest a motion, an action of a board in a municipal law, file an Article 78.
Okay.
And so when a board takes actions, so obviously Pew filed the one against the village.
Right.
Typically, the remedy would be to undo the zoning change and start over.
Mm.
So keep an eye on that. We'll be around for that, but,
Thank you for all the tips. All right, so, assuming everyone have no comment, I'd like to raise a motion to the planning board. Has some comments and we
Just
want
ask
to
them to
clear this
update
back.
their zoning.
Right, I will do that,
Yeah.
the R1.
These are legal documents, so you can't have, oh, I'm complying to R1 and R1 doesn't even exist in code.
Okay.
It seems minor, but it's not.
Yeah, that's important. Okay. So no, the planning board finds that there's no issues except with the R1 conformance reference on that sheet, that we'll ask them to update that based on current code.
It's clear to me what's happening to the sunroom, but it's really none of our
I
purview.
I think they take the sunroom out and then,
Yeah,
and
but
then.
I mean, as long as this is all straightforward ZBA stuff. but this-
That's not us.
I'd like a second.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye. So we're sending this back to zoning to say,
No comment.
no comment.
Except for the-
Except for R1.
It's no different than we refer things to the county, right? Often we don't hear back, sometimes we hear back, but either way, the 30 days elapsed, same thing.
Yeah. So the only question I have, and I can ask Jonathan this tomorrow, is there some kind of formal way that we need to respond? Do we need to like write a resolution?
We should have a
There-
record, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so then I'll draft that. Wait, but then, do we have to,
Does it have to be a
Coming back to the-
resolution or-
yeah,
I would
I'll find out.
A board can only take action by resolution. I
Okay.
mean,
So then we have to have another meeting to vote on the resolution. Okay,
no, I mean,
No,
what
we
you could
can
do
just-
tonight is you could say that the chair is authorized to sign a resolution to the effect of there's no other comment, that we reviewed the application, there's no other comment other than to update the zoning conformance table to
okay,
reflect the current,
updated
the current
code.
zones.
okay,
Otherwise, it could be another 2 weeks,
another month.
another month more, yeah,
Another
yeah.
month.
Yeah,
No, I
let's
mean,
not do
that's
that.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine, right?
So let's just.
Well, I don't think, I think, I'll check with Jeff, but I think
Yeah, I'll
if
check
you're,
too.
if you're making that motion to sign the resolution, you'd still have to come back to
True.
sign it and do a roll call vote, but I think it would be enough for the zoning board to go forward. Because you've made that decision, I think the resolution,
It's kind
would
of
you
like
agree,
It's
Matt?
like
It's
a
just kind of
formality.
documentation,
It's
yeah,
just a formality and they're not gonna take action.
until the
Yeah.
thing is corrected anyways.
And they already know that the planning board, because it isn't really, other than updating the file, right, which is the R1 to RN, I think that's our new.
I
That's
think
just
that they did that
housekeeping.
too, because I know in the notice for public hearing, it says RN.
Okay.
But I'll just mention that so all the paperwork
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
follows.
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, there should have been a readiness review as opposed to.
Yeah.
What the union happened.
All right, so let's see, public comment? No public in the room, no public on the phone. No, there's no new board business. Okay, I would like a motion to adjourn.
So
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Allison, did you want to talk about the dates? I know you said that
Yeah,
there's dates you can't be.
in the meeting,
Right.
Yeah, yes, so I am traveling, on November 9th. I won't be in town. And then on November 23rd, that's Thanksgiving, so I would assume that we wouldn't have that. So I would like to propose that we, cancel the 2 meetings that we have in November and then resume the first week of
December.
December,
Second week.
second week of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be back by then. Resume on the 14th. Does that sound good? Okay.
That sounds fine. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah, if something
If
comes.
something comes up, then, I mean, I could be remote if something does come up on the 9th, but I will be out of town working. All right, now that we've talked about that, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
So,
There's one more thing.
Did we do the minutes? Did we do them?
We did.
We did.
did?
yeah, there's a motion.
It happened so fast.
If I'm being up too late. Where did I see that now? Oh, that's right, we did, you're right. Take me home,
I know.
okay. All right, so.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Awesome. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I assume they're not doing any code training?
Are you-
I am, so there's